Alexandra, and for the how-to series, I chose the posture wheel pose.
Alexandra, why did you choose wheel?
I chose wheel because I really love how it feels. I think it's a really simple posture that everyone can do at least a piece of, a variation of. I think even though it's such a simple one, it really strengthens all of the whole back body, strengthens your spine, strengthens your glutes, strengthens your hamstrings, and even your shoulders in the pushing with your arms. And at the same time, it stretches the whole front side of the body, and I think it's a really easy way to tell where you have some imbalances, because it's such an even posture, so you can tell if one hip is tighter than the other one, if one shoulder is more weak than the other one. So I think it's a really good diagnostic posture. And since in our world we do so much sitting and forward folding all the time, I think as many back bends that we can do, especially ones that aren't only in the lower back or ones that are only in the neck, but get all the way from the head to the toes, are just really important for the human body to be used to and be able to do, for the long term. So yeah, I think it's a very important one.
Definitely. What are some common misconceptions that students have, or things that or I guess like tangible steps that you can give people to work on this posture?
Yeah, I think maybe some people think if they can't push all the way up into a wheel that they just can't do any little bit of it at all. But there's definitely many stages of the posture where if you don't have very strong shoulders, or maybe you're a little bit scared to be upside down, there's definitely some more beginning stages that you can do with that. One of them that we teach a lot in our classes is just doing up on your head. If you feel like you can't push up all the way, if you're just on your head, finding, facing your fear here a little bit, and also finding the push in your arms and in your legs, so eventually you can come up. Another one you can do is the bridge pose, and that really gets your legs ready and your butt ready without really needing to use too much of your arm strength, or if you're scared to go upside down, it sort of like just gets you ready for that without, needing to have your head looking behind you. So I think that when some people see that posture, maybe if they're beginners, they're like, oh, it seems like too much, I'm not that flexible, but there's always many stages before that anyone can do.
Totally. Last question that I have is, what are you thinking about when you're in that posture? Kind of like, what's your mantra?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe what's something that you're working on in that posture?
I think it's definitely changed a lot of times throughout my life. I used to just want to be as bendy as I could, so I used to just try to get my feet and my hands super close together to see how much of a back bend I could have. And more recently, I learned from one of our teachers, Jared. He always talks about closing your ribs in your back bends. So I used to just back bend as much as I could and let my ribs go out super far so my back could get more compressed. But that really doesn't create any tension or muscular strength to make it have any longevity in the posture, or really any strength to hold your guts, or really any balance between back and front. So now when I'm doing the posture, I'm trying to close my ribs, use my abdominal muscles to create tension in the front side as well as in the back side. So it's not just dumping back there and compressing in the back. So I guess I used to try to be more flexible, and now I'm just trying to be more strong and balanced. And I think that there's always stuff that can be worked on in this one. There's always a lot of fun variations with one leg, one arm, coming up, coming down, forearms, all sorts of fun stuff. But yeah, I think the thing that I'm really trying to make happen for myself is closing my ribs, and also now I'm trying to not let my shoulders flare out super wide, because I have pretty flexible shoulders. So now that I have learned more about the shoulder wrapping and keeping my lats really strong, I try to do that also when I'm upside down, so I'm more stable and not just flaring open in the front, and it definitely feels much stronger, much better, probably how it was supposed to feel the whole time. And I think the flexibility hasn't really gone anywhere. It just feels different, I guess.
Maybe you can talk us through a wheel pose
Sure.
as you're doing it.
Totally, yeah.
Maybe if you can show like a beginner variation and then your
Regular
wheel.
style.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the beginner way, you can lay down on your back with your heels pretty close to your butt, feet are parallel. You're gonna bring your hands by your ears, fingers pointing towards your toes. You're gonna press down through the heels, lift your hips up, lift your head up, and you can stay, I'm breathing away, with your head on the floor. In this way, I'm really pushing my hips up, trying to close my ribs, using my hamstrings, pushing down through my feet, and I can push with my hands a little bit, but I have a little bit of weight in my head. So if you're a super beginner, it feels weird to be upside down and backwards, this is a good place to stay. If that's easy, then you can come up, you push, use some strength in your arms. I'm trying to wrap my shoulders, push through my hands evenly, push through my feet. Ooh, get a back bend, squeezing my butt, trying to close my ribs. And that's what I'm working on. And then to come down, you can come down on your head, or you can turn your head in, come down one vertebrae at a time, keep the knees bent, breathe, and that's it.
Yay, thank you so much.
Totally.
And leave a comment below if you have any questions for Alexandra about wheel. And
Thank you very much.